This is. Oh, can you can. Korean.
Seven happening a couple of meetings, places like that opened up, now you can eat in there within 24 hours.
Really?
Yeah. So they're trying, I guess, anything to get people in. But, yeah.
Thank you. Good to go.
Hi Nelly, are we okay to go?
Yes, you can start now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the October meeting of the Business License and Permits Committee of Community Board 4. Our community board has a hybrid policy, which is on our website, but it essentially provides that board members are expected to attend the meetings in person unless they have a disability or extraordinary circumstance. Excused members and members of the public can still participate virtually. We ask members who are joining via Zoom to leave their cameras on. And they want to point out that the meetings being, as all of our meetings are these days, being streamed live on YouTube. The transcripts being recorded, and it'll also remain on YouTube indefinitely. So everyone keep that in mind in your comments today. What this committee does is hears applications for liquor licenses and for outdoor dining. All we do is make recommendations to the full board, which is an organization that includes us and a total of 50 people. That full board will take its own vote at its next meeting, which is November 6th. But the full board itself only makes recommendations. We have no power to grant or deny a liquor license. So all we can do is make a recommendation either to the state liquor authority or for liquor licenses, or to the Department of Transportation for outdoor dining, as to whether we think the license is a good or bad idea. The way we proceed is we go through our agenda one at a time. It's organized by categories, beer and wine, alterations, new, full liquor. We hear from each applicant. We then take any questions or comments from the committee, and we then ask for any comments from people from the public or the community who may want to opine on a particular applicant. If you are watching the meeting and want to speak on an applicant, they ask you to use the raise hand function when that item is called, and you'll then be moved over into the main meeting so we can see you on video and you can speak to the committee and everyone else here at the meeting. I guess we'll go around the room quickly and introduce everybody. My name is Frank Halazubiak. I'm one of the co-chairs of the committee. Bert
Lazary, as a co-chair.
Amy Chanko, member.
Ted Arenas, member.
James McDonald, member.
Tina Nelson, member.
Alan Oster, member.
Candace Hewitt, member.
Christine Berthe, member.
and anyone on the committee participating virtually?
Carrie
Mike
Keenan.
Noble, member.
Hi, Carrie.
Hi, thanks.
We can't hear you.
Carrie Keenan, member.
Doesn't look like you're muted, but we can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No, you just unmuted, but we still can't hear
She does like,
Sad face.
you like those silent movies. She
Oh.
see the faces. Yeah.
I'll try to rejoin.
Yeah.
Not you, Carrie, it's them. We could hear you.
you. Oh, wait, we can't hear anybody.
We can't hear anybody.
Oh, the volume on the computers.
On ours?
It's muted, yeah.
If you
It's you. It's you guys.
For the speaker, there you go.
Oh, so has no one heard any of that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Wait,
Yeah, open the
They
volume.
probably heard us.
This.
why
this.
does it
We
never
heard
get-
you.
No? No?
Yeah.
Volume, you are the bottom, at the
Go right
top,
there.
volume in the
In the
middle.
middle, see the blue dot, move it all the way over.
Move it to
down,
No, no,
Why
no,
don't someone come over here and just do it?
in the middle.
right there.
Yeah,
So there,
so why does this ever get shut off?
Can you hear us now? No.
Close.
You can do this one. Okay.
So go ahead.
Can you hear us?
No.
No. Video, audio.
Looks okay.
It's our volume up on this.
Is there something here in that?
No, his eyes just go.
Could be somebody just ours.
Wow, but usually it
No, it's
doesn't.
not needed,
We're not needed, no.
and the volume.
And so you can see, we can hear ourselves audio, see the.
Oh, wait, someone just said they can hear everything so far, so.
Can you guys hear us?
We can hear
Yes,
everything you're saying.
we can.
We
We
can
can't
hear
hear
Carrie.
anybody,
We hear Carrie and we hear you guys.
Then we have all these people talking.
yeah.
This is crazy.
Every week, I mean, every month. I mean, there's always one thing around there. That button's not on or off. Do you see the volume there?
There's a bus over there.
Nelly,
See that?
hi, yeah, we can.
I think that's micro.
Oh,
Hit BLP? Yes.
still
Whatever
proud.
we did or you did, it's good now.
Okay, so we can start, though. They heard all of that, so.
We did. We heard all of everything you said.
We're gonna start with our first grouping, the new wine, beer, and cider license application. These are completely new. Our first one is 257 7th Avenue. Hours of operation 11 AM to 9 PM, 7 days a week. The applicant here,
Yes,
you were originally here in December, now you're back in, right?
yes.
Okay, so proceed.
Hello, my name is Christopher Solano and I'm applying for a license for beer and wine for the restaurant Ciao.
Okay, wanna just tell us a little bit about what your operation is?
Right,
Oh, it's a pizzeria. We, serve pizza, pastas, heroes, and like just Italian food.
Okay. So the hours you've asked for are 11 to 9 PM. 9 PM to us means that's when your establishment is gonna be closed and vacated of customers. Is that what you want? Or in other words, it's not last call or anything like that. The place has to be empty of customers. You find, is 9 o'clock the closing time you want, or do you want something a little later?
Yeah, that's good because most of the time by 9, most of the people have already left.
Okay, well, this has to be everybody.
it has, yeah, it's not like you take an order at 10 minutes to 9. It has to stop.
So do you want
So
10
would
o'clock?
it be safer to make it 10 o'clock? You make sure everyone's gone?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
All right.
give you some flexibility.
What happened?
I said it gives you more flexibility.
Oh, yes, thank you, thank you.
Okay, anyone else from the committee?
Anybody from the committee? No?
Natalie, anyone from the community want to speak on this?
There's no one with a raised hand.
Okay,
Okay, do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Hi.
Opposed? Not eligible? Okay, it passes. Good luck.
thank you. Well done.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, agenda item 2, 310 West 38th Street.
KHP Midtown, hours of operation 12 to 12 AM, Sunday through Thursday, 12 PM to 1 AM, Friday and Saturday. Is the applicant here?
Yes, we're present.
Okay,
Go ahead. Tell us something about you.
Sure. We are called K-Pot, Korean barbecue and hot pot. We are an all-you-can-eat establishment. They have guests have two choices, either hot pot for barbecue. They can also have both. We're applying for a light liquor license, beer, wine, soju, and sake, to complement our food. I represent, I work for the corporate office, and we have over 86 locations across the US.
Oh, not all in New York City.
Not, no, no, that would not be good.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay,
I don't have anything.
any questions, Christine?
So they're going to serve sake, is sake part of wine and beer?
It depends on the alcohol content, but typically it is.
Okay,
In other words, wine and beer is determined by
Right,
alcohol
okay.
content.
Yes.
Just one question, I'm your neighbor, I live on 38th Street.
Yes, madam.
And do you have a way to put your garbage out in a line rather than too deep into the sidewalk?
Yes, I will reach out to because the garbage company instructed us to do it that way. And then if we move the space, I just have to communicate with the garbage company, and then we can arrange that. I apologize if that was an inconvenience to you.
That's okay.
Yes.
And the other option is you can put the garbage in the roadway. And
In the road, yes.
yeah, so
I
one
see.
or the other, just because the sidewalk is very narrow.
Yes, and actually, we've been talking with the garbage company to pick up the garbage earlier, so we can actually
Okay.
take in the garbage cans before we leave.
That would
Yes.
be, yes.
My apologies to you. Sorry.
No, don't, this is fun.
Kansas,
I do see that in one of your pictures, you have like, what are these called, Christine? The boards the advertisement boards on the sidewalk?
A-frame.
Yes, an A-frame board. Can you please remove that? They don't,
Of course. I'll remove that right now.
thank you.
any other comments, questions from the committee members? No, anybody from the community have their hand raised?
No, there's no one.
Okay,
Motion to approve.
Second.
second, all
Aye.
those,
Well,
those opposed, present not eligible, abstained, okay.
thank you very
good.
much. Thank you so much.
Okay, we're moving on to our next grouping. This is alterations of the method of operation of existing sites, existing facilities. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, we have 4 items here, 4 applications here. Our first one is 231 8th Avenue, Bellini Chelsea Corporation. Can you explain the changing in method of operation? Does it change your hours? What are you asking for? Is the app-
Michael, you're on mute.
Mike, you're muted, Michael.
I always do that. It's a class change application. Shall I proceed?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
go ahead.
All right, so this is an upgrade application. We were just issued a 2-year wine license on October 4th, 2024. We were operating under a temporary since April 1st of this year. Due to multiple requests from clients who love the atmosphere, we're applying for an on-premise liquor license. Everything else is staying the same. 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. Sunday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. 2 tables, 9 seats, 11 at the bar. Basically, we're a coffee shop during the day that turns into a wine bar at night in a small, quiet, intimate setting with small plates. If there are any questions, we're happy to answer.
Yeah, a couple things, Michael. I assume you'll agree that we can carry over the prior stipulation about any storm enclosure not extending more than 18 inches from the building facade.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then we appreciate you telling us that you want to seek a sidewalk cafe, but as we have been doing since the rules changed, we'll say this application doesn't extend to any outdoor space, and you'll have to come back once we get your application from DOT, correct?
Correct.
Okay, then the last thing, which one of our committee members, Alan, noted, I think your client has, tables and chairs on the sidewalk now, and I'm not sure they actually applied under the temporary open restaurants program.
Not that I know of.
Right.
I would,
so
I would go with no. He still has them out there now? 'Cause
Yeah,
somebody-
yes.
They just, actually, I think DOT just summons them. They removed a couple of chairs in front of the tree bed. You've got chairs up against the wall, right by the serving window, and chairs on either side of the tree bed, which is causing a bottleneck in the neighborhood.
It is.
There's a supermarket there. A lot of the senior citizens have indicated that they have a hard time walking past this establishment. There's a lineup at the window. It's very chaotic at times. It's really becoming a problem for a lot of people in the area. I have another question, if I may.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, wait, let's finish this. So, Michael, if they didn't apply under open restaurants, they're not supposed to have anything on the sidewalk or the roadway. And
I will definitely talk to him about that.
as far as we could tell today from the DOT open restaurant site, they are not on there. I mean, they're not listed as someone who filed under that program.
I'm sure I would have filed the application and I know I did,
Okay,
but I will definitely talk to him about that.
all right, so, and they'll get rid of it if they'll get rid of the outdoor seats until they get, permanent DOT approval?
Yes,
Okay,
we'll put that in the stipulation.
Alan,
Yes.
additional question? Yeah, given the size of the space, I think you're indicating something about 3 pool tables?
Downstairs.
Oh, you have space downstairs?
That's what.
that's what this is.
Wrong application.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
Okay,
gotcha. Any additional questions, comments?
well, wait a minute,
Wait a minute, wrong
No.
application.
They
It
have it, it
says.
says it there.
No,
No, this
it's-
is Fellini.
yeah,
Yeah,
Wait,
what's the drawing?
Yes.
maybe,
drawing is the top floor. First floor, bottom floor, service.
unless we get the agenda mixed up.
I think.
Michael, what's the alteration? Is it just changing to full liquor?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yes. Unless you have a plan for my next application in there.
Is that the one with the pool table?
The 511 commercial is the,
Oh, I see, yeah, it got put by mistake on both agenda items 3 and
I
4,
see,
so it's not on this one.
yeah,
No
yeah.
pool, no pool table.
No pool table.
Anything, sir. Delete pool tables, please.
Yeah, but it's not in the application, it's just in the summary.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
Okay, any additional?
no.
So is liquor gonna be served only at night after a certain time?
I'm sorry?
Is liquor going to be served only at night after a certain time as it turns into a wine bar?
Well, during the daytime, it's more of a coffee shop, so I would imagine that we're not gonna be selling liquor during the daytime until the wine bar goes into operation, but if someone comes in at 2 o'clock and wants a drink, we would of course sell it to them. But we don't see that happening. We don't really sell much wine and beer before 5 o'clock.
So their license is begin at 8 a.m.
So I have a question, why, you said, Alan, that there was a line? Can you elaborate on that?
It's crowded. Well, it's crowded. I mean, they get a crowd. There's a serving window to the sidewalk.
Ah,
So they line up outside the serving window.
Yeah, and there are tables literally everywhere, and you have to walk in the streets because you can't get through.
So is the liquor going to be served through the service window? Is that the?
yeah, could we stipulate that the liquor won't be served through the window?
Absolutely. No liquor through the window.
I also saw,
If in fact, if he does get a sidewalk cafe in the future, anything served outside would be by servers. It wouldn't be coming through a window.
yeah, can you stipulate that too? Because I may have misread, and apologies if I did, but I saw that you were not providing like table service.
Yes, we would.
Yeah, in any event, we're not dealing with the outdoor space today because we don't have the official application from the DOT yet, so we're excluding outdoor space from this application.
And they're gonna remove it.
And they're gonna remove
But
the,
what about the window?
yeah, all right, so well, let's hear from the community, then I'll summarize. Nellie, anybody from the community about this application?
No, there's no one.
Okay,
Okay,
so Michael, the 4 steps will be the usual storm enclosure one. No further than 18 inches from the facade. The application doesn't extend to any sidewalk seating or outdoor space. There'll be no sidewalk seating until approved by the Department of Transportation, and no alcohol will be served through the takeout window. You're okay with all of that?
Yes, we are.
okay. Do I hear a motion? In a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Present not eligible? Abstaining? Okay. Thank you.
But you're back.
Oh, Michael is busy.
Yeah,
Michael, you're back again with 511 Ninth Avenue.
Yes.
You moved over to the west.
I'm
511
gonna have a martini after this one until the sidewalks come.
511 Ninth Avenue, 511 Ninth Commercial LLC. So this is also a change in method of operation. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so this is an alteration. The premise is now called Tempura. It's formerly Bar Gonzo. Ralph Mohedev is here. He's the applicant. Ralph bought out 2 to 3 owners in 2021 and turned Bar Gonzo into a kosher restaurant. It was less than an 80% change, so it doesn't come before the community board. We want to add the basement into the license. Currently, the basement has 3 pool tables downstairs. We want to add 6 tables with 26 seats. We're going to keep the 3 pool tables and a service bar. We also want to change the first floor bar into a service bar because we don't really get people coming in, sitting at the bar drinking there. We'll have the same hours as upstairs, 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday to Thursday. We're closed on Friday and 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. on Saturday. The first floor currently has 16 tables, 64 seats, and a service bar. The terrace, which we'll get a little more in depth into, has 34 tables, 81 seats, and a 14-seat bar. The liquor license states the retractable roof has to close by midnight. I was giving a past stipulation stating the roof should not have been retractable, and also a copy of CB4's recommendation to the SLA that it won't be open at any time. The applicant is agreeing to the past stipulation. We'll keep the roof closed at all times, but we will talk to residents affected by an open roof and try to come to an agreement with them. The roof has been open on occasions, and we know of no complaints, so I think the situation that was there before where it was a problem might be solved, but of course, we want to get the support of the neighbors who were affected.
so just a little more history for this. There's a rear terrace on the 2nd floor. When it was Bar Gonzo, they had a retractable roof, but they kept it open and it caused a lot of problems. The immediate neighbors came to our meetings and were very concerned. So we attempted to, we sent a letter opposing the use of the roof unless it was kept closed at all times. I discussed this with Michael today. He says they have been opening it, but it hasn't been bothering anyone. But in the meantime, they've agreed to keep it closed until they can talk to the nearby neighbors. And if the nearby neighbors are supportive of letting them open it, they'll come back to change that stip. But we thank them for it. In the meantime, they've agreed to keep the roof closed at all times. So we're appreciative of that.
Yes,
That's good.
very much so. Comments, questions from committee members?
Because even when the roof is closed, you walk in the street and you can hear the music.
Is that even now or when it was? Okay. But is that coming from there? Because it's in the back.
No, I'm talking about walking by 37.
Oh, okay.
So you walk by and you see it's lit and you can hear the music. It's not very loud, but you can hear it.
All right. Well, we haven't had any complaints to us, so All right, so it'll be closed in the meantime, it will be closed now unless they come back to us with, community support to have it
Yeah.
open.
Okay. Anybody from, the community now?
No, there's no one.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
President eligible? Abstaining, okay. That's item
Okay,
4.
thank you.
Thank you, Michael. So moving on to item 5 on our agenda. 85 10th Avenue.
Okay, and we're gonna do this in conjunction with item 9, which is the same location. They're different applications, but it's the same building, which their attorney will explain to us.
Yes, we ready?
We're ready.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you all. Max Bookman, Pizetsky and Bookman PC for the applicant. With me is Jeff Katz, Tom Radicki from Del Posto and Alcoro. I'll explain that in a minute. Judy Tepperberg from Ciao. I'll explain that in a minute. And a few other people as well who I'm not going to introduce at this moment. As Frank said, these are two closely related applications for the former Del Posto space / Mel's Pizza space, which is still operating / Alcoro space, which is no longer operating. It's on the old Nabisco building on 85th, on 85 10th Avenue and 16th Street. So just to give a little background on the space before I tell you what the applications are. This space has a long history of food and beverage going back to 2002. That's when Del Posto first signed their lease for the space. They wound up opening in 2005. And from 2005 until 2020, there was a wonderful, vibrant, well-regarded Michelin star restaurant at this space, Del Posto. Jeff Katz, who you're looking at there, along with Tom, they made their careers in this space. Jeff had been involved since 2006, started as a junior person there, worked his way up. He was a GM by 2009, a director by 2017. Tom had a similar trajectory, started in 2011 and worked his way up. A bunch of people who were involved early on are still involved. Chef Melissa. Del Posto, by all accounts, would have still been open and operating today if it wasn't for COVID. It was one of the casualties of COVID. They were able, this same group, the people who I'm talking about, the people who are here today, were able to get together and reimagine it after it closed as Alcoro, which is the restaurant that was most recently operating here in conjunction with Mel's Pizza, which is still operating. Alcoro was even higher end, more fine dining. They wound up getting 2 Michelin stars. It lasted for a few years, but it also eventually went out of business. And this is the next iteration of it. So they found a new financial backer in Ciao Group. Ciao Group, this community board also knows, it's a New York success story. Ciao started in New York. They've expanded to do a bunch of things across the country and the world over the years. But one thing that they haven't done yet is fine dining. And so that's what the connection here is. Ciao has gotten involved to breathe new life and ability into this space, to allow this same crew who've been there since the beginning, Jeff and the team, to allow the space to have the next chapter. And so what they're looking to do is they're going to open a new restaurant at this space that they're calling Crane Club. It's going to be the next chapter in the story of bringing back Del Posto, in the sense that with Alcoro, they were glad, they were happy with what they did. It was very high end. They're going to dial that back a little bit with this new iteration, make it a little more accessible. It's still fine dining, still the experience you had with Del Posto over the years, but a little more accessible. Which brings me to the applications that we're here for you with today. We're doing 2 things. First, well, we're doing them both at the same time, but you know, one is we're filing an alteration application with the SLA to make physical changes to the space. There's been a significant renovation of the space to make it nicer, better, renovated, etc. So that in and of itself requires an alteration application. But in addition, we are removing the downstairs cellar level, the subterranean cellar level from this restaurant's liquor license. So we are reducing the size of the liquor licensed premises. The reason we're doing that is because that cellar level, which most recently was Al Coro's nightlife operation, they called it Discolo, that space is now going to be a private members club, which is also going to be operated by Jeff and his team and the Ciao Group team. Because it's going to be a private members club, it requires a special type of liquor license. It can't be the same liquor license that the upstairs has. So we have to remove that cellar from the restaurant's liquor license in order to do the second thing that we're doing, which is apply for a brand new private members club liquor license for the downstairs. As far as the downstairs is concerned, you know, I'll say this about private members clubs. They've become an increasingly popular option in the constellation of New York City food and beverage world. There's still an incredibly tiny segment of the overall number of liquor licenses and bars and restaurants in New York. They're still a fraction of the number, but they have been, and increasingly so, been recognized as an option to include in the broader portfolio for people who are looking for a different experience. A community of members, seeing the same people over and over again, for some is something that is desirable. A sense of belonging, familiarity with the space, none of the uncertainties of you know, am I going to get into this place or not? Am I going to be able to get a reservation or not? Just being able to know that you can just go there and not have to have any hassle. So there are a lot of positive aspects to the private members clubs. And there's positive aspects for the community as well. There's accountability, first and foremost. So we don't just have any person in the world coming to the private members club. They are members only, and they're invited guests. That means these are people who care. They have an association with the space. They pay dues for the space. There's a code of conduct, which is enforceable. If people are not following the code of conduct, which includes respecting the broader community and the neighbors, we can remove them from the members club. So there's a lot of, as I say, a lot of positive aspects for the community as well. Just another word or two. We've done a ton of outreach. Judy, who's here, spearheaded the outreach, as well as Tom. It's all documented in our package, including sustained engagement with the one residential building that's diagonal from us. We also commissioned sound and traffic studies, just because that's part of the level of diligence that Ciao Group does. I've read them very carefully. They're included. I'm able to answer questions on those, as well as the sound and traffic engineers who we have here. So with that, I will pause, and we are happy to answer your questions.
So just a couple of things. First, for the committees, you, I hope, notice there are a handful of letters of support that are attached to the application. Max, two things about the basement members club. So the main restaurant will still enter on 10th Avenue, correct? The Del Pasto space.
That's right. We're not changing the entrance to the main restaurant.
Is there a separate entrance for the members club? And
yes.
Where is that?
There is a separate entrance for the members club. It's on 16th Street, and it takes you right downstairs. So you're not going through the restaurant. It's a direct. You open the door and you're going right downstairs to the members club.
Okay, and then on the members club application, I noticed on the question about dancing, you answered no. Is that correct? There's not going to be dancing at the basement space?
I believe we answered that correctly. Judy, yes, is that correct? Yes, we answered it correctly.
So there's no dancing?
No dancing.
Okay, that's all I have. Oh, one thing for the committee, because thanks to the interplay of the SLA and DOT, it's a little confusing. The application says there's no outdoor space. However, as you may remember, we actually recommended approval of a sidewalk cafe for the pizza part of this, Mel's, which they are going forward with. But the SLA does not want new applicants to apply. The SLA wants people to wait until they're approved by the DOT before they get the alteration to cover the outdoor space. So this applicant will be going forward with the sidewalk cafe outside Mel's as soon as they get DOT approval for that. So there'll be yet another alteration application down the road.
Comments,
right.
questions From committee people? Christine?
Good old vestibule. So you have marked that there will be a vestibule, outside vestibule on each of the restaurant, the application? No?
No, I think they have an internal vestibule.
With an internal vestibule, we're not doing the outdoor storm vestibule.
They mark
It says
yes,
yes.
but it
It
was
says yes on
incorrect.
both.
Okay,
Well,
well,
then
let's
let
do
me-
one at a time.
So I just want to raise that because it also had the mother of all.
Yes.
Oh, even
applications.
Even with the
I mean,
vestibule.
we could have, slept about 20 people there.
Yeah.
So we really need to enforce that it's only 18 inches
Yeah,
from the
well,
door.
Why do
Okay.
you even need it?
Well,
Given-
Del
Yes.
Posto didn't have a vestibule outside.
All right, so first, Jeff, hold on, before you go, just so, if I could just say something to my clients. So what Christine is talking about, and this is an important issue, is the winter storm inclement weather vestibule, the external thing that people will put outside of the restaurant to create an outdoor vestibule so that when, especially in the winter, when you come in, you're not bringing all the cold air in. So I guess the first question is, do we plan on, before we talk about the past, just the future, do we plan on having that for the upstairs restaurant or for the entrance to the downstairs private members club?
We don't plan on having one for the restaurant. And just for the record, Del Posto never did either. We've never had a vestibule in that restaurant. And then at the top of the, I don't think we'll have one at the entrance to the club. If there's something there, it would sort of end up on our ramp because the ramp's already there.
So the requirement, which is often not observed, is that you can have a vestibule, but it can't stick out more than 18 inches. And so,
But then we won't have one. Not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, so Max, we'll change the answer on both of these on the storm enclosure to no, okay?
Bigger than my
Yes.
apartment.
Bigger than you, huh?
Yeah, it was enormous. Anyway,
That's history
as long as they don't do it going
going
forward.
forward.
This.
Additional questions, comments?
I'm just curious, is Melissa Rodriguez doing both, like the Culture Society and also the new restaurant?
she's going to be involved with both, yes.
What are the rates? Can you tell us?
No, they're still figuring it out.
What do you mean?
Just curious.
This is what Massa.
If you want to join.
Is it?
Join us.
If you want to join, you'll have to wait a while.
Apparently.
Any other additional questions, comments? Anybody from the community know out there?
Yes, we have one person, Anne.
Anne, are you,
You,
I think you've been unmuted. Can you speak?
Anne, you accept
yes,
promoted in order to speak?
We didn't hear that, Melanie.
She said, Anne, you have to accept in order to speak.
She took her pen down.
have you moved her over?
Anne took her hand down.
She took her hand down.
Okay.
Okay.
Anne,
Max,
you mute now.
Max, was this someone speaking in support?
Yes, I don't want to speak for her, but the expectation was that she was going to speak in
Okay, I think
support.
we have a letter from her, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so this was someone reinforcing their support in the letter.
Okay.
Okay,
I think we can vote without that.
Okay, so we need two resolutions. One for number 5, which is the restaurant. Do I hear a resolution?
And there are no changes to that application form.
Motion to approve number 5.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Present not eligible. Okay, abstaining. And now a resolution for number 9, the
Six.
private club.
6.
No,
9.
Nine, yeah.
9.
Some on the wrong one, yeah. Okay.
And the only change to that application, was there'd be no storm enclosure.
Right.
Both, no, both. The storm.
No, they said no on the first one, even on the form. Yeah,
I'll make sure both say no, Christine.
Right.
Okay,
Motion to approve with the storm inclusion,
Step down.
stipulation.
Okay, is there a second? All those in favor? Opposed? Present not eligible?
okay, one third thing, I think we did this at the time they applied for the sidewalk cafe outside Mel's. But assuming that the sidewalk cafe gets approved in accordance with the terms we agreed to at that time. Can we, let's just take a vote that they do not have to come back to the committee to go to the SLA.
Sure.
So in other words, we're just saying, the thing, what we approved for DOT will also be our approval for.
Yeah.
SLA, so we could have a motion to that.
Motion.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Present not eligible, abstained, passes.
Yeah.
Do you want to write that down?
I think the video will be fine.
Okay. So moving along,
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everybody.
Matt.
and we
Thank
appreciate
you.
you're all- we appreciate you're all joining us tonight.
See you soon.
Sorry we didn't give you more to say.
We like it that way.
Yeah, that's quite all right, Frank. Take
good
care.
night.
Oh, no, she doesn't.
She's on screen.
Okay,
Well, she was
I,
speaking support, so.
item 6. 134 9th Avenue, Cincy Villa, CP Playground, sounds familiar.
Yeah. It is.
Sounds familiar.
Hey, everybody.
Hi. Go ahead.
Joseph Levy here on behalf of Susie Villa Playground, Inc., 134 9th Avenue. I have with me Viviana, the group principal, and Clement, GM of the space. We appeared last month. We withdrew so that we could do additional outreach, engage with some people in the building, in the community, block associations. I'm happy to report that that work has been done. You'll see some additional outreach. We met with the block associations. We emailed all the block associations. There was a walkthrough of the space. There's been dialogue back and forth, very, constructive, respectful emails that were all very positive. So now here we are back in front of you. The application before you is changed to the method of operation. We would like to extend our hours. The original application was till 4 a.m. daily. We understand that 4 a.m. daily is not something that the local block association and neighbors are interested in at the moment. So, we're happy to make a compromise and get to a place where we can all be happy. But I know that a lot of the hard work was done and conversations were had, and, we're happy to have the rest of the conversation here.
Okay, Joe, we got something, what's a new application? What's changed in it? Is it just attaching the petitions, or are there some other changes?
No, there's no other changes. It's just the additional outreach.
Okay,
And do you have a proposal on the hours?
Well, the idea was we asked for 4. They said we don't like 4. Maybe we can do something less. We didn't get to a number. There was no number thrown around. But we're happy to, I believe some folks from the Block Association are here. And we're happy to have that conversation. Anything would help us, honestly. If we could do 2 a.m. during the week, maybe 3 on the weekends, that would be ideal. So that's, I mean, that's just, from our side.
Want to hear from the community first, and
Yeah.
then we can discuss it.
Yeah, let's hear from the community. Nellie?
I have two hands raised. First one is Robert. And then David.
And now we got nothing, no submissions in writing on this, correct?
No, I don't have any new submissions, no.
Okay.
All right, so after all the conversation, nothing in print.
Okay.
Hi.
All right.
This is Robert.
Welcome.
Can you guys hear me? Yep.
Yes, we can.
I'm speaking on the behalf of 300 West 1819th Street Block Association. I did want to confirm we met with Tea Lounge last week. We had a really great conversation. I feel like it was long overdue. So we were very happy that that happened. We went and looked at the space. We heard their concerns about wanting a safe space for the community and needing to stay open a little later in order to have the business survive and thrive, which we want for them. The Tea Lounge has been open for 7 months, and I believe that the SLA asked them to come back after a year of operation as far as extending hours. But the Block Association wants to work with them, wants them to thrive in the community. So we would recommend certain hours. We would recommend Sunday through Thursday, 1 a.m. and Friday and Saturday, 2 a.m. And again, that's taking into account neighbors' concerns, just things that are happening in other parts of the neighborhood with people hanging out outside and noise and that sort of stuff. So that's sort of where we stand at the moment.
Can you repeat those hours again, please?
1 and 2.
But yeah, Sunday through Thursday till 1 a.m. and Friday, Saturday till 2 a.m.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the second person, Nellie?
David and then Missy.
Repeat. Okay.
Yep. Hello. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hi. My name is David. I'm on the Block Association for 18th and 19th Streets. And as Robert said, he pointed out that those are the hours that would be more comfortable for the neighbors and the residents in the area. I just want to put a little bit of color on that. What we're hearing from right now from the residents in particular is they're very concerned about the nightlife in the area, largely as a result of what's going on 8th Avenue between 18th and 19th Streets. There's a big party atmosphere at the weekends, especially. It gets very loud, very rowdy. I know that some of you guys are probably aware of some of the rules and things that are being broken over there, and people are concerned that the same thing is going to travel further along to the other side of the block. So that's what we're hearing from our membership and other residents when we bring up the subject of this application and the hours that they were originally asking for. There is something else that I think I need to mention because it was brought to our attention. Well, several people actually brought it to our attention that the front of the Tea Lounge bar establishment is completely covered up, right? So there's no way to sort of see into the business to see what's going on or anything like that. And I think there's some nervousness that comes from that. Somebody even pointed out to us an NYC planning rule that you guys are probably much more familiar with than we are, but there's a minimum transparency requirement apparently for this kind of establishment as part of the zoning. I don't know how relevant it is, but the point being that having the entire storefront obscured is presenting a feeling that there's something going on, rightly or wrongly, that there shouldn't be. And I think it's wrongly, but it's not doing a lot of favors for the look of the place and the feel of the place. So that accounts for some of the opposition that we're hearing.
Okay, thank you. Now you had a third person?
Next is Missy.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can, Missy.
Hi, I'm not with any block association. I'm just a neighbor. And I was at the original meeting for their permits. I worry, their current closing time is 11, is that right?
I think it's 12 and 1.
12 and 1?
I
Yeah,
think so.
I'm sorry, what?
I think it's 12 and 1, but I,
Oh, wow. Joe, what are the current hours?
12 and 1, you got it right.
Yeah. So I'd like to just reaffirm those closing times. I mean, what was brought up originally is that they're situated between two schools and surrounded by apartments where people live. They're across from the projects where people live. And I just don't think 2 and 3 is appropriate, to have I know they're not a club, but it's like a club. It's kind of tiptoeing towards, and having something open at 4 is deeply inappropriate. I'm concerned about 2 and 3, honestly. I just saw the application or the notice over on 10th Avenue, and wanted to jump on to just to register my objection if they're going to be open very late. It's kind of a fragile block with the projects across the street, with there's been a lot of weird activity there, and I just with a non-club or whatever it is open very late, I think 2 and 3 is way too late, honestly. I mean, I'm comfortable with 12-1, but and I know the block associations are comfortable with later, but I am very concerned about a later opening, honestly.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else, Nellie?
No, there's no one else.
Okay.
Mike.
Yep, I'm here.
Mike, your hand raised.
Yeah. Frank, I'm just curious, my recollection is that the SLA itself, has a transparency requirement. I don't know how it applies in the city or to what extent. But, yeah.
I was gonna ask Mike Kelly to tell us about that.
Okay.
Did you have other comments before we go to Mike?
No, I mean, my thought, I think of other places that have minimal transparency. Look at Rudy's Bar, for example. You've got those glass bricks there, and that might meet the requirement. But some amount of light has to show through, right? Some amount.
Yeah, Joe, can you tell us about the requirement and what's happening here with it?
Yeah, this is actually going to be a non-issue because this issue was raised at the meeting with the Block Association, and they've already undertaken to make some changes in the frontage so that there is transparency into the space. I think the feedback from the Block Association was walking through the space. It was a very welcoming environment. It was a nice environment. It wasn't anything scary, which was everyone's anticipation with the outside being so terribly opaque. So they will be opening that up so that you can actually see in. So they're working on a plan to do that in a way that
everybody feels
looks nice and still everyone feels safe inside.
Excuse me, when you say they, are you talking about the Block Association?
No.
No, I'm talking about my client and her GM.
That's what I was trying to get clear on.
Yes.
Who's responsible for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. It was brought up originally by the Block Association that they couldn't believe what it looked like inside because outside they couldn't see and they didn't recognize what it was. So they are taking that under advisement and they will be putting a plan together to open up the front.
Joe, what is the actual requirement? I mean, how's it worded?
Off the top of my head, I can't tell you, but the idea is you're supposed to be able to have some degree of transparency inside. It's not supposed to be completely opaque. And that could be as something as small as a window in the door or a slat in between a mural on a window. You just have to be able to look inside.
Okay.
I'm paraphrasing.
Great, thanks.
Comments from
would you like me to address some of the comments from the Block Association, or you want me to
I'd
wait?
like to hear from the committee first,
Okay.
okay?
No problem.
Comments, questions from the committee?
So, okay.
I was just wondering if there was anybody here that was from the public that wanted to speak on it, because we've heard from the people online, but not yet.
Oh, no, sorry, I talked to these people. when they
Oh,
called,
you did?
yeah,
Okay.
I know what they're here for.
All right.
Well, I like the suggestion of the block association.
Me
When-
too.
I like the 1 and 2.
Right.
I agree with you. I think that they've been open. They don't seem to be, you know, there's no complaints. I mean, we're not hearing anything but positive feedback from the Block Association. So I'm not sure why this feels dicey. Like, why don't we go with the Block Association recommendation if that's okay with the
1
applicant?
and 2, yeah.
Well, is there any support for something longer? Because that's quite a cutback from what they're asking for. I mean, they came in asking for 4 AM across the board.
Can you clarify, Frank, for me, or can you clarify, Joe? You said that this applicant has to go back to SLA anyway
No,
okay.
I think there was some confusion.
Appreciate that.
What the chair said at the full liquor, the full board meeting that we were at to originally get the license approval was that if we wanted later hours and we were unsuccessful speaking with the community board and speaking with the local folks, we could reapply to the community board for later, to the liquor authority for later hours. And we could do that after a year because they thought that was a good sample size. However, if things were going well and we wanted to re-engage with the community and the community board earlier, of course, that's an option available to us as well.
Okay,
Right.
thanks for that.
Yeah, and the history of this was, our original position on this was to oppose the liquor license outright. Jesse Bodine and I went to the SLA hearing, and basically as Joe just said, the SLA's views was sort of to try to draw a compromise, which was to give them a license, but cut the hours way back. But then to give them this opening to come back for longer hours after they've been operating a while.
Okay, additional comments, questions?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I would.
No, I
Okay.
know the Block Association said Sunday through Thursday 1, Friday, Saturday 2.
Yeah.
I would tend to say Sunday through Wednesday 1, Thursday, Friday, Saturday 2.
Both, okay.
That's what we usually do.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's not a rule, but it's
Yeah.
typical.
Okay, it was Sunday through Wednesday, 1.
Right.
And
Thursday, Friday,
Thursday,
Saturday.
Friday, 2.
Is
And I
there,
think that's a compromise.
And
They've
that-
only been open for what, 9 months? It hasn't even been a
And
year.
this is consistent with what we do with other
Right.
applicants. Yes,
okay,
thank you.
Joe, do you want to speak now?
Yeah, just a couple comments. Just by way of a reminder here, there's 40 seats inside this space. There's 7 at the bar. It's a very small space. It's background music only. There is one speaker this big that powers the entire space. It's really a very low impact from a volume standpoint, and it's a small space. Their clientele tends to go out a little bit later, which is why we're here in the first place. So getting any extra time is really crucial for us. I appreciate the compromise with 2 AM Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If there's any way to get 2 AM more nights of the week, that would be tremendous. Again, small space, background music only. It's really been, they've been open not yet a year, but we're getting close and there haven't been any issues. You know, they spoke to someone who was upstairs who had an issue with music and they immediately changed things and it's no longer an issue. They've been super conscientious. They're going to keep the conversations going with the Block Association and the neighbors, but it really would just be so helpful to get as much extra time as we can. We appreciate no 4, we appreciate no 3. But you know, getting any hours we can during the week, or if it's really the weekends that are okay and midweek is not, we're happy to maybe get some more hours on the weekend and scale back during the week even. We just need, it's just the clientele tends to go out a little bit later, which is putting us in a funny position because we understand that closing hours means the place is dark and everybody's out. So to have that happen by 2, it's really last call is probably an hour before that, and that's when people are going out for them. So I just wanted to make that last plea. Of course, look, we'd like to work with the board. We'd like to work with the block associations. We don't want this to be contentious. We'd like to come to an agreement of some kind. We just are hopeful we can get as many hours as we can here.
Understood.
Well,
I guess, I'm impressed by the turnaround from last month to this month, quite frankly. And I know some of that is based on the hours the block association is opposing, but as people remember, there was massive opposition when we opposed this in the first place.
Right.
And there were even more people, there were about 5 people who spoke, people who spoke against this last time were not here today, so they made definite progress. I'm on the fence about the hours. I'm swayed by the block association, but I also, one thing to keep in mind is our view of the closing hours that has to be closed and vacated is more restrictive than, the sort of standard, which is you stop serving at the designated closing hours. So to some extent, Joe's quote is accurate. They'll have to stop serving, I would say, at least a half hour before these times, if not, the hour. But again,
Well, I appreciate that the applicant went and spoke to everybody, because it's a much easier turnaround this time. I wish you guys did that before, but, I think maybe we should give them 3 AM Friday, Saturday, and 1 o'clock the rest of the time. Because if they're looking for money, Friday and Saturday is the busiest night. Sounds like the neighborhood is already kind of rambunctious, and I don't think that would be a big impact, but it would help them out financially. So if we do 1 o'clock across the board and 3 AM Friday and Saturday, I think that would be most beneficial to help them out and for the community.
We would take that in a heartbeat. That would be great for us. Thank you.
For
I
context,
guess-
next door to them is Bathroom Gym, and it's open till 4 AM.
I can do it, 3, everyone.
So it took me Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 3.
No,
Friday, Saturday.
only Friday,
Just Friday and
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
I was going to propose something different, which was 2 AM across the board.
Really, I like that. I do think the 3 would help them more, and
I think it'd be more risky going later on weekdays till 2 AM.
Yeah.
I think they would benefit more, I think, from Friday and Saturday.
I wouldn't.
I also think to the extent there's any disruption, it's more concentrated on 2 days. and
Friday,
not
Saturday,
sort of-
correct,
In other words, it doesn't make every day a little worse for. the
Right.
And it's
neighborhood.
also very critical that you continue the communication on an ongoing basis with the block association.
and they're going to open up the front so people can see in and.
Yep. No, we're going to continue this. It's been a learning experience for these guys operating the space, and it's going to continue to be. But now we have open lines of communication, and they're going to keep them that way.
So what we're talking about is the new hours would be Sunday to Wednesday to 1 AM, Sunday to Thursday, 1 AM. And Friday and Saturday to 3 AM. And then an additional stipulation that says the applicant will take steps to ensure transparency.
I could vote for that.
Do we have a motion?
Want to make a motion?
Motion for approval.
And a second, all those in favor? Opposed?
Who's? Anybody online?
Mike, did you vote?
Mike
Yeah, sorry.
and Carrie? Okay,
Okay, I do want to thank everybody here, the applicant, the block association, the community members, for their efforts and sort of in the past month. I think it was very helpful to everybody involved, including us. So thank you for your time, everybody.
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, 7 is postponed. So we're moving on to item number 8 on our agenda. 239 7th Avenue, Ciao Dining
Yeah,
Management.
so just to focus the discussion here, this is one we approved, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And with a stipulation that they get a sound report. They came last month, we didn't like the sound report, so we asked them to go back and do another one. They came back with this other 2-page one that we wanted to bring back to the committee. to see what people thought of it. I don't believe the company who did the report is on the New York City approved list, at least I couldn't find it there. And it's certainly a report that is different than what we usually see. Mr. Burt and I thought it, and Nellie thought it made sense to just have a brief committee discussion about whether we're okay with this or whether we want to insist on something more. I will point out that at least so far, and I don't know about tonight, we haven't heard from anybody in the community about this application. So the whole sound report issue is really one of our doing. So we just wanted to talk about that issue, but let's try to limit the discussion to the sound report because everything else we've talked about previously and recommended approval.
And the request for a sound report came from us.
Yes, yeah,
Not
originally,
from anybody in the community.
yeah. And now we talked about having the someone from the sound report try to be on the call. Do you know if they arranged that? Hi, James.
Yes,
Hi,
yeah,
James.
I'm here.
Yeah, hi.
Yes, I'm here. So, could you switch it to my client? And my client is here, and I believe the sound report is here too.
What?
Give him that chance to explain to you.
Okay, I think he said the sound people are
The
here.
sound people you have here,
Yes, he said that.
Okay.
can we hear from them?
Oh, Nelly, do they have to be moved over or are they here?
James, what's the person's name?
Is okay, so the last name AO. So he should be here.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi.
Everyone. Hope you guys see me well.
Yeah.
So I represented for the reach out the owner today. So our technician name is Ricardo Martins.
Yeah.
Okay, I will move them over. Hold on one second.
Okay, thank you.
Hi there.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
So I think we just wanted to hear a little bit about, sort of the conclusions of your report and how you get to them.
Absolutely. So basically the report was made to understand what is the STC that you have in the construction itself. So I measure what is happening from this commercial space to the apartment upstairs. Finding out the STC that we have in this place is 42 dBs, meaning that anytime that something is trying to pass through is getting stopped 42 dBs. So if the space is going to use music in 80 dBs or 90 dBs, we're gonna be still under code. So that was the finding that I had when I performed the acoustical measurements in the space.
I have a question. I'm trying to read your Annex 1 line. I'm seeing 60.9. Is that a decibel reading?
So let me pull out the report myself.
Because usually the decibel readings are based on frequency. And I don't really see any soundproofing advice to give other than reduce noise code level, which would be turning the music down.
So as you can see in the main part that it says 47.9 dBs, that's the STC. So the levels that you have by frequencies are not an exact measurement, it's just a reference. So if you see
what would be at 80 hertz? What is your reading for 80 hertz? That decibel reading for 80 hertz, which is the base frequency.
8 hertz, you said?
80 hertz is usually like the base frequency. So what is your decibel reading on that?
In that frequency, I have 45.3.
The first one.
So on the last page, it says 64.1. That's LT 5000. What does that mean?
That meaning 5,000 hertz.
So basically what part you see in there is by frequency. LT 5064.1 is the higher end of the frequencies. And in this level, there is a lot of things happening through that is not necessarily sound that is passing through. That's why we are using the STC as a reference number.
Well, STC is the decibel reading in the apartment above?
Is the sound loss that we have from floor to ceiling. So when I measure downstairs, I measure, so normally I measure 120 dBs. I put a source that reproduces 120 dBs, and then I go upstairs and measure what is the difference. For sure, I measure also the background noise, and I deduct that from the formula.
So what do they have to do so that it doesn't get too loud upstairs?
So as we can see in the report, there is not going to be a problem noise going upstairs because 47.9.
No matter how loud they turn the music up?
They are putting music, but with 47.9 dBs, we are in a safe zone.
Okay.
So what is the decibel difference between the commercial space and the tenant space above? What is that differential?
The differential will be the 47.9.
Okay, so if they have it at 80 decibels, it'll be 40 upstairs.
The difference will be 32.1. So if I play in dBs downstairs, whatever is happening upstairs is going to be in the 30s, range.
Can I ask the question? I'm sorry, I'm not very clear with that.
Yeah, sure.
So you measured it downstairs, right?
Correct.
And then downstairs you had something which is called 47.9, whatever it is, right?
No, I measured downstairs where I brought a source, like a spherical source that reproduces pink noise. This pink noise downstairs, I was hitting about 120 dBs in a full.
Okay.
Then when I measure upstairs with this source on, I was able to measure the difference. Sorry, let me just.
Okay. So now the 120 dB is how are we making sure that the restaurant is sticking to this or a little less? Because you are saying in your report they have to go down, right? A little bit.
Correct. So the only thing I'm 120 dBs. 120 dBs is an exaggerated amount of sound. Is just to drown out any kind of noise that can pass through. So basically, this is a standardized method that we use to measure what is the STC in construction.
But what I'm trying to say is that it looks in your report that you say that the restaurant has to reduce its noise somewhat to stay within the guidelines, right? And
no, in the report, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you say.
So in my report, I is stating that we are in a safe zone with the amount of sound transfer class that we measure.
Well, you said with the STC obtained, we are confident that any noise coming from the intended commercial space will be reduced to code 7. How is it going to be reduced?
By stopping by the construction itself. So like I said,
okay, so I'm with you. So now have you specified to them what construction they have to do in order to reduce it?
So the thing is it's like the construction that it has. So it's nothing like you need to add. It's whatever it is now.
It's a wine beer licensed restaurant with background music, so.
Talking dancing each other.
All right,
thank you.
Okay, so before we have discussion, Nellie, is there anyone from the community about this this month?
No, there's no one.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so the question is whether we are okay with where things stand with the report, or whether we want more from them.
No, we're fine over that.
Okay, so I guess we probably should take a vote just to affirm our prior recommendation of approval, with the, staff report we've now received.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, person not eligible, abstained? Okay.
Okay, thank you, to James and the applicant for, continuing to do this acoustic work for us.
And Ricardo, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for everybody, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the last item we have on the agenda. The last item for liquor license on the agenda. Is item number 10, 686 9th Avenue, Verona Hospitality. Hours of operation 12 to 11, 7 days a week. Applicant present?
Frank, are you here? Nellie, is Frank Palolo here?
No, Frank is not here, but the applicant is here.
Okay.
Well, let's see if the applicant wants to wait with Frank, because I emailed with Frank today, who asked me if I thought the agenda would change, so he's aware of it. But maybe, let's see if the applicant wants us to wait for him. Is the applicant in the meeting, Nellie?
It's good anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just nothing. It's 11 PM. Yeah.
Okay. Does he,
That's okay.
does the applicant want to say anything to us? No, Nellie, who's the applicant?
I missed that wants to
Is
be
it
them all.
Gaspari Village?
Yeah, it's me. I thought I didn't hear the address, the proper address. My apologies.
Okay.
Sorry.
686
Sorry.
9th Avenue.
I misunderstood the address. I thought you said a different address.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Are you expecting your lawyer, or are you just gonna talk?
Yeah,
to us?
it's Michael Kelly. He's right there.
I'm here.
No, wait, which one is this?
I think he jumped the gun.
Yeah, we were looking, yeah, sorry, we'll be back to you.
Okay, you said Gaspar Village. Sorry.
Where are we? I got
My
lost.
apologies.
It's supposed to be 686 9th Avenue.
Okay, so I understood correctly. My apologies again.
Yeah, no. Nellie, who is the applicant for 686 9th?
What?
Hold
And Andrew.
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
Second. Now I'm confused.
Andrew, Elizabeth, raise your hands.
No, they are not on.
So then we'll postpone until next month.
Well, no, let's go. Frank knows about this, maybe he just thought he'd be later on the agenda.
We put to the.
Yeah, let's put it to the.
I will reach out to Frank.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Okay,
All right, now. Outdoor stuff. 195.
okay.
So.
I want you to ask, yeah, I didn't get to do the vote sheet.
You can go. I have to go now, so you can take care of it.
It's item 10.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're gonna start with agenda item 13, 195 10th Avenue, Sunny Lou Inc.
Item 13.
Michael Kelly for the applicant. Gaspari Villa, the owner, is here.
Hi.
Let me give you a little background. We've been at this location since 2017. We did have a sidewalk cafe license with 6 tables and 12 seats. Prior to that, we were a few blocks up at 253 10th Avenue from 1998 to 2017 when we moved. We had 6 tables and 12 seats before, using 7 feet 2 inches. We now have smaller tables, which would be 18 inches each. And that would fit into the 4-foot, 10.5-inch space that we have. It's a little tight, but we think we can work it. The applicant's never had a sidewalk cafe violation for the 20 some odd years that he's operated. Our other option with the sidewalk was to have 2 tables on the right side still making the 10-foot clearance and having a little more room, and 4 on the, or 2 on the left side, and 4 on the right side, because we do have 13 feet from the tree. But we figured just to keep the 3 tables and 3 tables in line would make for a smoother pedestrian flow.
Okay. I think Alan and Bert went to see this. Alan, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, the numbers are right. I mean, it's a little tight. They do tend to have a bench and some very nice horticultural plants in front of the tree. They can move it back towards the curb. It improves the street a lot, and we don't want to see them taking down the horticulture. But it sometimes gravitates into the sidewalk, so just to keep an eye on that.
So in other words, this is stuff they put on the sidewalk?
Yeah.
Okay, so it does have to be, Mike, as you know, Michael, within the perimeter of the cafe, which
There's no way.
there's no way.
No.
There are a lot of large pots
No.
that they put on each side of the tree.
Ah.
Oh, in front of the tree.
If they
If
put
it
it on the
was on
side,
each side of the tree,
By
it
the
would be
curb.
fine.
Okay,
But it's in front of the tree, therefore you
Okay.
are missing the clear path.
did you hear that, Michael?
Yes, yes,
okay.
they would be removed.
Okay. All right, and you'll ultimately be seeking to have the liquor license extended to this, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. All right, so Alan, no changes or
Well, I'd like to keep some of the plants, that's for sure.
whatever, we're gonna move them to the,
Yeah,
the
I
side,
mean,
but in terms of
basically,
the,
they do keep it behind the tree.
Yeah.
For the most part, but sometimes, they may take some in, they may move them around with it, but just to be aware that it just needs to be on the
Okay.
other side of the line.
but no changes to the layout of the
No.
cafe
No,
itself.
that's good.
Okay. Anybody from the committee have anything on this? Nellie, anyone from the public?
No, there's no one.
My hand's up, Frank.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just curious, what's the name of the restaurant?
Pepe Giallo.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You should have piped up earlier. You would have gotten a better response from all of us.
No, there was. The person who wasn't piping up was from the prior applicant who still isn't here.
We're on a different applicant.
we're on 13.
We're on 13 now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
Yes.
we skipped over.
Well, hold on a second. Wait a second, I'm no,
We're on Pepe now.
He's voting on the wrong thing.
wait a second.
We're
Hold
on
on a
13.
second. Yeah, so am I. But I don't see the name of the restaurant there.
I
All
think
right.
what Mike's trying to say is we all love Pepe Giallo, so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the name in our agenda.
Maybe
That's
you
what
have it
I'm
under
telling
Sonny
you.
Lou. Maybe it's only under Sonny Lou, Michael.
yes.
Yeah.
Goes
You
by
have the
the
name of the company. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Okay,
the other motion.
yeah, it'd be 2 motions, but to recommend approval both to the DOT and ultimately to the SLA for the alteration to expand the liquor license to cover the sidewalk area. Is that your motion, Christine?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll second that.
Second.
all in favor?
Weekly penne pasta
Oh, wait
place.
a minute.
Wait,
There is
wait.
we have a vestibule. We have a vestibule.
So close.
So close. Without,
Okay.
with 18
Mike,
feet.
online, and anyone,
Theirs is not big though. They've never had a huge one that I know of.
Sorry, we don't, and when we do have it, we don't have outdoor tables.
No, but you can't have anything which is deeper than 18 inches.
Correct.
Correct.
So let's put that as a stick.
okay, so we're gonna add a stipulation to the, well, actually, the stipulation was on your prior,
Yeah.
it was on your. Mike, it was on the prior, stip form anyway.
So close.
Okay, so we're gonna repeat the standard stip about storm enclosures.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so with that, everybody in favor?
Yeah.
Online,
Yes, I.
Thank you.
Mike,
Hi, Frank.
Okay, anyone opposed? Present not eligible? Okay, thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have agenda item 14, 243 West 14th Street.
Frank Palulo's on now.
Okay,
Have to wait.
yeah, we'll do this one.
Guys, good evening.
Okay,
If you could take another case, I'm trying to get my client on.
okay, we'll keep going, just let
Can you
Nellie
take
know.
another case, Frank?
Raise your hand when you're ready.
She's having a little trouble getting on.
Okay, raise your hand when you're ready. So we'll go back to
Thank you.
243 West 14th Street. Nellie, I guess we weren't sure whether this applicant would be here. They have COVID, I guess you said.
My phone's hooked up to my car.
Yeah, okay.
What a mess.
Nellie, where do we stand with anyone here from this applicant?
Which applicant?
243 West 14th?
No.
Okay. So Alan and I both visited this. There's a problem with the floor plan they submitted, which says that the sidewalk is 19 or 18 inches, 18 feet 11 inches. You and I disagree a little. It's either in reality 15 to 16 feet. And if you look at the floor plan, that actually what equals it is if you add up their individual measurements, it comes out to about 15 or 16 feet. So the reality is they probably have only about 5.5 feet for the sidewalk cafe. So I think that means they can only have at most 2 tables with 2 seats.
But you're showing 5'7" for the sidewalk.
Well, yeah, but see, that's because they're showing that the whole sidewalk is 19 feet.
But it's not.
But it's not, it's at most 16 feet.
Okay,
And you need a 12-foot clear path.
so
on
one
14th
table.
Street. So they only have 4 feet, 45 feet.
So 14 feet, 7 inches.
Yeah. So at most they have 4 feet.
So it's two.
So I think our recommendation should be. Should point out that that's the only distance they have, and we'll figure out how we agree on what it is. And that the most we would recommend approval of is 2 tables with 2 seats each. That would be my proposal.
Yeah.
Which is what they do now.
Okay.
Tables out the front of the rail.
Yeah. Well, it's a weird setup because the entrance, it's sort of like 46th Street Restaurant Row. The entrance is down a bit and there's actually a front sunken area, but it would be hard to fit tables in there, given that they have 2 doors and the facade is at an angle.
So 2.
On the sidewalk, the most would be 2 tables and 2 seats.
Right.
Total of 4 seats.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion for that?
Motion.
Right, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, anyone opposed? Anyone present not eligible? Okay, we'll go on to 307 West 47th Street.
That's, then both,
No, this is only for the roadway.
Okay. and this
Anybody here for Dutch Fred's, 307 West 47th?
one is good.
Michael Kelly?
Okay,
There.
okay, so Michael, did you do the new STIP form or?
Yes, we did.
Nellie, do we have a STIP form from them?
Yes, it's in the Dropbox.
No, all that's in the folder is the prior STIPs.
No, but the other one also is like saying 4 AM and things like that, so.
Which one are we back on?
What are we talking about?
Dutch Fred's 307 West 47th.
Right, they already have a liquor license till 4 AM.
Oh, okay, all right.
So this is only,
Got it.
okay, so Mike, did you change the STIP form any, or did you repeat it all?
I didn't do anything, so no. We just wrote in exactly what was on the other form.
Okay, so you copied over the limitations on live music and all that, okay.
Yes.
And then the only other change I'd make would be to be clear that at this point, the STIP form is for the roadway only. Because we don't have the DOT. Okay, so what we're considering is the roadway application. I went to see it, at the moment, it extends far longer on the street than will be allowed under the new rules. But their submitted plans would limit it to 19 feet, which is immediately in front of the premises, which is what they're allowed. And otherwise, it looked fine to me. It's in a parking lane, which is permitted. It's not impinging on any trees. So, again, for the roadway only, I'm okay with this.
So I have a few questions based on the pictures here.
Okay.
First, there is seem to be a sort of sidewalk cafe that's going to go away.
No, they're gonna apply for it, but we haven't gotten it from DOT yet, whatever reason.
For the sidewalk cafe?
Yeah, but
Okay,
it's gonna have to be, it might, we talked about this today, it's gonna have to be very small.
okay. The second thing is that the existing is, jumping on the sidewalk. It can't be doing that, right? They have, this is eating about one. It's taking about 1 foot on the sidewalk, it's
Hangs
supposed
over
to
the
be
curb.
adjacent. It cannot be on the curb, right?
I'm not sure it is now.
It's in the picture.
Michael, are those pictures
That's the
recent?
picture.
They about 3 months old.
Yeah, yeah, and then the second.
Well, wait, let's clear, so Michael, so the roadway structure has to be completely clear of the sidewalk and the curb, the new one.
And when the new structure's built, it'll all be in the street. It wouldn't be on the curb.
Okay. And then all the planters, I mean, it looks like you have a zillion of things going on here.
But that's on the sidewalk, right?
Well, exactly.
Yeah, oh, it's very elaborate on the sidewalk.
It is to remove everything, none of that is legal.
Well, the tables and chairs are, because.
No,
under
I'm
our-
talking about
Planters, they're
planters, 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
4,
And
5,
sign.
6 planters, the sign,
Self-explanatory.
yeah,
Yeah,
none of that is supposed to be there.
well taken care of.
I'll have them remove all those
Yeah.
tomorrow or the next day.
I mean, it's pretty.
All the
but-
neighbors loved them, so they kept them out there.
That's right, so let's remove all of that.
Okay, so Mike, we'll add a new step that says. The applicant will remove
Or keep the sidewalks.
Sidewalk.
all obstructions on sidewalk. Other than tables and chairs permitted by their open
Yes.
restaurants application. You okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. What's the next one?
Well, wait, we need,
I'm sorry.
anybody else on this one? Nellie, anyone from the community about this one?
No, there's no one.
Okay, so do we have a vote again? This is only for the roadway dining. But it would be for both the DOT submission and the ultimate alteration with the SLA.
And what about the hours? It's,
Yeah, they agreed to, Mike, you agreed to 10 and 11 outdoors, right?
Yeah.
On the new STIP form, yeah.
motion,
Okay. All in favor?
okay.
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone present not eligible? Okay, and now we go to thank you, number 16.
So the hours 10 Monday through Thursday. And 11 Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, whatever it's on the STIP form, the way they answer it. We now go to 151 8th Avenue, Schaefer's, which I guess is you folks. I thank you for your patience. Just to explain to the committee what's happening here, we actually only got this application today. But because it's roadway dining, we only have 30 days, which can't be extended to get our position to the DOT. Which means, we cannot wait until the November meeting. So we put it in an emergency fashion on the agenda today. These gentlemen were kind enough to, drop everything and come out to join us today to tell us about it. Okay, welcome.
Welcome, how are you?
Good.
I'm Joe Arangino and Frank Nastero from that Schaefer's. Yeah, we placed an application in, the frontage is, for our space is 20 feet. Right now, the existing that you're looking at was a combined because of the two storefronts that we had. You're not allowed to do that anymore, it has to be your single storefront, so we applied for the roadway, 20 feet, out front, it's gonna be 6 tables, 24 seats.
This is 4 table, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
4 tables, 6 here.
Yes, 4 tables, 6 feet.
Okay, so, the board office will ask you to do another STIP form where you answer our usual questions about how you can operate the outdoor space. But, I guess the most important one, you agree to close it at, 10 and 11 Friday and Saturday and
Yeah.
10 o'clock on weekdays?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you'll just fill that form out.
Yeah, we just didn't get a chance, but
No, I know, seriously, we got it from the DOT last night, so we were surprised as you were.
We'll send it in tomorrow.
Okay, and we'll keep the, repeat the, 2 additional stipulations that are on your old STIP form about sound limiter and noise mitigation.
We won't wait any sound
Yeah.
outside now, I don't think you're allowed,
Yeah.
so that we won't have.
Yeah, so just copy over all your answers from the old form and then just answer the page about DOC outdoor seating. And I guess, Christine, we had one question about your photo. I think this is the one I showed you. I think, oh wait, you went to see it, right?
You went?
Yeah.
And?
Looks good.
Okay, so the question is, I think you can have nothing in that buffer zone, the thing with the white stripes.
Right.
And it looked from the photos like you may have the ADA ramps maybe that go into
Oh,
it.
so the new structures, the way that they're built are in, it has to be on the line and there's not an ADA ramp the same way that.
Current structure's coming down.
Yeah, so and you'll keep the buffer zone completely free.
Yeah, the white
It'll be flat
line
to the
needs to
ground,
be
this one
free.
kind of.
Right.
At the time when we built it, we had to put that ramp at the time, right?
Like originally, we didn't even put it.
Yeah, we were instructed to
Asked
do
us
that.
to put it.
Actually, the city came to us.
That was before everybody knew what they were doing.
Yeah, not to say that everyone knows what they're doing. It's an evolving process.
Work in progress.
Okay, Alan, Alan went to look at it, any other comments?
I measured 18, but I'll go with the 20.
Okay, and are you gonna be seeking sidewalk dining too? or-
What is this, the picture on the sidewalk, this is yours too? This is you?
Yes.
Okay.
Right, so this is not, for whatever reason, DOT only sent us the roadway. Which has happened to a couple other people, as you've heard. So this is only for the roadway, I'll put tonight, and you'll have to come back for when we get, when we get that from the DOT, sorry about that. You can do it by Zoom, you don't have to come in person.
Now we know.
Yeah, okay, anything from the committee about 151 8th Avenue? Nellie, anyone from the community?
No, there's no one.
Okay, so do we have a motion to recommend approval to both DOT and the SLA for the liquor license alteration for the roadway? Okay, motion and second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
But we have the document, flowers and all that.
They agreed it's gonna be 10 and 11.
Yes.
And I'll look at the rest of the answers, but are there any particularly, I think the important ones are 10 and 11 and no outdoor music, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's against the law.
yeah, all right,
Thank you.
thank you,
Thank you.
thanks for your patience.
Hope you learned a lot.
Okay, we're not-
Restaurant to go to?
Yeah.
all right,
New memberships to apply for.
all right, we're not quite done, we're circling back to agenda item 10, 686 9th Avenue. Frank? You're here as your client here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Here I am. Hey, guys, it's been a while. It's nice to see you all.
Okay, welcome back. 686 9th Avenue, Verona Hospitality. Hey, you want to tell us a little about it, Frank?
Yes, I would. Actually, this is very near and dear to my heart. I did the liquor license for this restaurant over 20 years ago. The first and only true Amarone. The clients were Tony Spiridiglosi and Giovanni Apicella. I had represented them for 12 years before on the east side. This is one of my oldest clients. As you probably know, Amarone was there for, I think, about 21 years. During the process, Giovanni passed away, and Tony was unable to continue. He had a problem with his eyesight. He couldn't do the job. In the end, as a result of that, the current operator signed the lease for the premises. That hasn't been that successful for them. So what Libby is doing, the widow of Giovanni, is bringing back the original Amarone, the way it was. I think it closed 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago. And she's on the Zoom with us. You see the hours is a very reasonable hours. This is the Amarone you guys knew for 20 plus years.
Okay.
If there's any questions you have, and these people, this is family for me. So.
Okay, any questions or comments from the committee? Nellie, anyone from the community?
No, there's no one with a raised hand.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
We have to be nice to the client.
Yeah, anybody opposed, present not eligible? Well, thank you, welcome back to the neighborhood.
Libby, you're muted. She's not very good with computers, so. She says thank you very much.
Okay.
And thanks for your patience tonight, guys.
Okay.
Good night.
Thanks. I think we are done. Motion to adjourn.
Can I say thank you again? I finally realized where the mute button was. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank
It's great to be back.
Good luck with reopening.
Thank you.
Yes.
Before we go.
Okay, thanks.
We have that list of the people who have applied for the sidewalk cafe.
Yeah.
Do we want to share that? I mean, how do we use that with the community,
Well, so what Christine was able to somehow extract from the DOT was everybody who applied in our district for permanent outdoor dining before the August deadline. Now, we've only seen a very small portion of these, unfortunately.
And by the way, we should be tracking the one that we approve on that list.
Yeah.
So that we know what we approve. But the other thing it means is that the people who have not approved, not applied,
Should be down.
Should be down.
So when you see somebody, if you had the list, you could find out. So my recommendation would be to share it with the people of at least the community.
So Natalie, could you send around that list to the BLP committee?
Thank you.
And just so everyone understands what it is, it's what we assume are in the pipeline.
Right.
And they are the people, everyone on the list can have their current structures on.
Which continues to be approved.
So
Until they have the new.
the roadway until November.
The roadway and the cafe, everything is still good.
Until
So,
November 1 though.
yeah,
Well, the roadway, cafes are gonna be year round, so they can stay out.
well, until they have their new
Yeah.
approval.
Yeah.
So if the new approval is in December, I presume that whatever they have is good until December.
Yes, whatever they get the approval.
But the others which have not applied,
I just.
then if you want to file a 311 or whatever.
Yes.
And the way to do that is file a 311 and send it to Eric's, it's Jordan. And then he takes care of it. So if you think that there is one which is really out of control, the one which are not out of control, I mean, whatever.
Okay.
You exercise your judgment. Let's
All right.
put it this way.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. See you.
And then we should get Nelly to start marking them in the spreadsheet as we approve them.
Yeah, okay.
like a
Yeah.
little running, you know,
Great.
tally round.
Okay,